We do not have a 24-hour sun in the south.
The 24-hour sun in Antarctica doesn't work on a flat Earth.
On a flat Earth, you can't have a 24-hour sun, a midnight sun in Antarctica. And I totally agree.
In the flat Earth model, we say there isn't a 24-hour sun in the south, and there isn't.
There is no midnight sun in Antarctica.
Well, hi everyone, this is Bob the Science Guy, and welcome to another episode of Coping with the Flat Earth. Now, I've gotten a lot of very positive responses to the two videos that I've put out already, so I think we're going to go ahead and continue this for a little while. I have a lot more material to go over, and boy, this stuff just writes itself. Now, a lot of you have asked me, how come Nathan hasn't blocked and banned me yet? Well, he has. But there's more than one way to skin a grifter. So, in the first two episodes, we had Nathan going at it with Witsit, and then a little pep talk by Nathan to his troops. Unfortunately, his troops pushed back a little bit, and that's the subject of today's video. So, without further ado, let's deal with some dissension in the ranks.
You notice more sub count, though, when he goes on these big shows, man. You got to give him something for that.
Sorry, are you still living in hope that this is going to be positive based on what Witsit just told you?
It's never going to be positive, bro. Never going to be positive.
Okay. Do you want me to bolster your positive spin that you've received? Oh, yeah, this is definitely going to be positive, Brian. Definitely going to really bolster our numbers. It's going to bring people to the subject, mate. Wonderful news, says Witsit. I know what's going on. This is very bad news. Not for us, Brian. Just to get that absolutely clear.
I get it, Nathan, man, but it's never going to be positive, bro. You gotta know that, right?
Well, for me, it is. Absolutely been positive. Without question. Not for you. Not for a lot of other people. Not for Witsit. Now he wants me to, work with him, end quote. No, I'll watch you getting mocked and ridiculed, absolutely and utterly impervious to it, because it makes no difference to us what we've been saying and how we tried to advise you prior to you going. Yeah? You'll come up with a model, will you? Oh, good for you. I'll laugh and mock you as you do. Like we mocked the yesterday response guy that we did on Patricia's show when he came up with a model to try and explain it. Yeah, they did that 10 years ago. Joshua did that. Wowee. Well done. I'll mock you as well. Right? While you call me a grifter. Everybody now thinks he's a mason and a cheat and a scammer and a fraud, and he's involved with a CGI hoax. Yeah, deal with that. That's what you've got lined up for you. You've heard it here today. Everyone's on tenterhooks, walking on eggshells around him. Me, I couldn't give a crap.
Well, folks, was that fun or what? Now the panel's going to try and get Nathan to open up and address their concerns a little bit more. See how he stomps that down quickly. And by the way, even though we're trying to do a little more logical fallacy Tourette's here, talking about a globe and having antipodal positions is simply a feature of a globe. They were actually testing the globe model against the flat model. So let's continue on.
Hey, Nathan, what do you think? Do you think he really went?
I couldn't give a crap. It makes no difference. I've just tried to explain that to you. If you say, at the end of this process, let's say it was 2 weeks ago and you asked me, I'm answering you. Brian, I'm answering you. Brian, I'm answering you. Did you want to answer for me? What's going on? You asked me 2 weeks ago what I thought, and you said, actually, I know in advance I've already been, and there is not a 24-hour sun. I go, oh, really? That's very interesting. Doesn't prove anything. It's not going to prove your Earth's flat. It's not going to prove your model or your map. It's not a model. It's a globe projection. But it's not going to prove that globe projection azimuthal equidistant in this instance. On the other hand, if you came back and went, I've been already, I know there will be a 24-hour sun. I go, oh, really? That's really interesting. It doesn't prove you're on a globe. You know, you have to assume antipodal positioning and affirm the consequent for that observation to prove you're on a globe, and it doesn't. It's a fallacy. So it makes no difference what you come back and tell me, like John Le Bon found out when he asked me the same question. It doesn't make any difference to us, because we understand the fallacious reasoning used by both sides. That's why it makes no difference to us. Couldn't give a toss. Doesn't make any difference. Earth's still measured flat. Why do you think Toon's screaming my name into the snow? Because I reminded him of the flat Earth measurements he made. And then he absolutely lost his shit, didn't he?
When Toon, he did lose his shit, dude. That was hilarious.
Yeah, whose name was he screaming? Was he screaming Witsit's name? Was he screaming Witsit's name because he was so annoyed at how well this will do for Witsit? No, he weren't, was he? No way, he was right next to him when it was happening.
Funny as shit.
Yeah. He was
That was
annoyed
funny
with
as
me.
shit, dude.
I'm
He did
just
look at his
explaining
shit,
what's
dude.
going on, Brian. Brian, just simmer down, mate. I know this is devastating for a certain number of flat earthers. That's not me. They can sit here and listen to why that's the case, or he can jabber through me.
Well, as usual, everything is about Nathan and his reputation and his position in the flat earth movement, if you want to call it that. Now Whitsit's coming back in a little bit, and let's have a listen to that. The thing that I think is very telling here is notice that Nathan is bragging about trying to do some character assassination on Austin Whitsit. Apparently now it is a story that Austin is a Mason and was involved in a CGI pseudo-experiment. Let's have a listen.
That's what he could do, like Whitsit did last time when I tried to work with him. Yeah, the arrogant little prick just went off and made everyone look bad, didn't he? And now he's being called a Freemason. What do you know? But this could be perceived as good, Brian, if you yammer through me, the one who knows better than this dick who made everybody look bad, except for us. We've come out smelling like roses. Now everyone's asking if we can help, including Whitsit. No, Whitsit can go...
No, that's a lie. That's a lie.
Could we work together? Should we work together?
Yeah. I find
Nah,
your
fuck
vitriolic
that.
behavior.
Now you're a dick. Get on your
pretty
spin train,
toxic,
dickhead. Nah, we won't be working together, dickhead. We'll be pointing out how wrong you are, just like we always have. Pointing out where you lie,
let me
like with the
clarify.
distance of light, travelling or not travelling, depending on who you're talking to at the time. Yeah, that's what we'll be doing. Pointing out just how bloody lying and sinful you are. That's what we'll do, as you're accused to be a Freemason, cheating and lying with CGI. That's inconsequential to us either way. I mean, it makes no bloody difference. None of this does. But Whitsit wants us to work
You're
together,
just not going
don't
to
you,
stop.
Whitsit?
Like, is this live or something? He's like muting me or something. So look, Oakley, I don't look at this as just you, right? There are other people in here that I think are actually honest and good-hearted. And
Maybe you can work with them.
yeah. So, well, no, I'm not trying. I'm just, yeah, that's right. Because I'm not a narcissist. Like
You'll have an
yourself.
uphill struggle to
So
spin this shite, Whitsit. Everyone thinks you've done badly, mate. You can put positive spin on it
So
all you like.
But you think,
Make no
you think
mistake.
Flat Earth getting tons of publicity is bad?
Yeah, when it's telling you that you're wrong and it isn't, definitely. And if your name's attached
When
to
did
it
I-
and they're
dude,
calling you a
dude,
Freemason
the
on... Oh, my bad,
entire
I was just
time-
answering. Why are you so toxic?
No, you're very long-winded and redundant.
That's what someone
Everything
who's
you were about to
very
say, you've
toxic
already
would
said
say.
3 times.
Yeah, toxic people would tell someone that after they've interrupted them. But you go ahead, my bad.
All right, in this episode, we went over quite a few characteristics of the Flat Earth movement. When you have dissent within the Flat Earth movement, like any other cult, the retribution is swift and from the top. Notice that there was character assassination involved. Austin Whitsit is now being called a Freemason, and to my knowledge, there's no basis for that. They're just doing it to make him sound worse. It's a poisoning the well fallacy. They're attacking his character and calling him names and giving him attributes to try and decrease the impact of what he saw in Antarctica. Unfortunately, it's not going to work, and it isn't working because an awful lot of people are taking the data and the observations from Antarctica and the final experiment to heart, and there are many people that are leaving the Flat Earth as a result. Now, people in the Flat Earth fall into a couple of different categories. I like to discuss them as those that sell t-shirts and those that buy them. Now, the people that sell t-shirts are people like Nathan who are taking advantage of vulnerable people. They have a lack of understanding of how the world works around them, so they're asking questions, but they're not willing to listen to the answers from the questions because they've got some predetermined notions about what the answer should be according to either religious belief or something that they saw on YouTube. And, this is characteristic number 3 of science denial, and that is promotion of fake experts over real experts. Nathan Oakley is a fake expert. He has no expertise in any of this. He's a trained actor. He's not a scientist. He's not in a technical field. But like many of the major players in Flat Earth, they are trying to train a group of vulnerable people to ignore evidence and listen to them instead. They need that for their own egos. I think you're seeing an awful lot of ego on parade with Nathan right now. And even Austin Whitsit, who was one of the people that trained these followers to ignore evidence, is calling Nathan out on it. I think that's very important. Now, while I have a lot more material on Nathan and the Flat Earth Debate Club, I do want to, in the next video, put out what I consider a positive response from the Flat Earth, where you actually, and surprisingly, get some honesty from a source that you normally wouldn't expect honesty from. And that would be from David Weiss, deep in the rabbit hole. So, until next time, this is Bob the Science Guy. Make sure you give me a follow, and like I said in the previous videos, if you want to contribute to the Telescope Fund, the link to the Patreon is right in the description. Love to have you on board. If you can spare $5 or $10 a month, get enough people doing that, we'll have enough to get the telescope in a reasonable period of time. So until then, take care, everybody.